Welcome to the evening of day 12 of the Run Against Violence Virtual Team Challenge for 2024. I'm Kirrilly Deer, and I can't believe we are at day 12 already. This time next week, we will all be crying in our cups of tea because the best 19 days of the year will be coming to an end. I know some people will still be out there chasing mad kilometres. I think our team will be coming down to the brink as well. But it's always sad to get to the end. And this time next week, that's where we'll be. But between now and then, we're going to cover a lot more distances and we're going to celebrate a lot more successes between now and then. Tonight, we are going to celebrate personal firsts. I have the team Rage Against Violence in the house. And we're going to be celebrating and talking about how people are achieving their personal firsts during RAV, because that's what we love people to do, regardless of what your history with exercise or running or walking or anything. We want you to use this opportunity, these 19 days, to achieve things that are special for you, and also share them with us and tell us about them so that we can celebrate those personal firsts with you. If you have been achieving a personal first, whatever it is, during RAV, make sure you put it in the comments so we know about it. So whatever platform you're looking on, whether it's from Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, if you add it in the comments, I can see it at this end. And in most of those instances, I can share it up on the screen. Wonderful. Let's have a look at what's been happening on day 12. Brad has let me know there has been some intermittent issues with the race roster server. So sometimes you can upload data today and sometimes it's been a bit clunky. Don't stress, it will sort itself out. The race roster tech team are onto it, and hopefully those glitches have ironed themselves out now, but that's what's happening. So you're not doing anything wrong or anything like that. It's just a case of sometimes over this 19 days, which is a huge amount of time for that technology to be operating, we're the only people in the world that use it in this way, sometimes glitches happen. So thank you for your patience with it if you have been a bit frustrated today, but the maps and everything are gradually getting up to date again. So now we have 20 teams across the line. Can you believe it? That is incredible. And all their distances are tracking along in the ticker at the bottom of the screen today. But let's have a look at what's been going on over on the map. Click the wrong button. Let's go. Remove that one. Here we go. No, I'm going feral today with the map. Here we go. Wonderful. How amazing. The technology, this is just mind-blowing really, isn't it? This is all getting beamed out across the country or across the world, depending on where you are, and we all get to share in this. So the current map is looking like this. We've got teams spread out from Moscow out west all the way through to Sydney Cove. And so there's lots of people at different stages of the run. As I said, we've got 20 teams across, and it looks like 20 that we've got a few more that are certainly well heeled to get into Sydney in the next day or two. So here we've got, which of these people? LRC, Laylaw Running Club, one of their teams is coming in hot and fast. We've got Pacer Wag. Now, I don't know who you folks are. If anyone's listening, put it in the comments so I can understand and do a big call out to you. Who are these folks? The margarita mums and dads, obviously not spending too much time drinking the margaritas right now. Happy Feet. Now, Happy Feet are our first team of 10. So they're making their way down the Great Western Highway through Sydney at the moment. They will be our first team of 10 across the line. And gosh, they may do it. This map was last updated at 4:30 this afternoon, so it may happen tonight, which would be absolutely brilliant. And we've got Together We Can. Absolutely you can, and you're going to bring it home really, really strong, well within the 19 days of getting back to Sydney. So let's zoom back out and head out west into Western New South Wales. This time in 2017, I was on my way from Forbes to Caloundra. So let's go have a look at the teams that are out that way. Now we need to come up to this Caloundra. Oh, west, long way west. It's amazing to think that in the next week, all these teams have still got plenty of time to get to Sydney. It is a long, long distance to cover. So coming into Caloundra, that's this spot down here. We have a couple of teams here, but we have quite a trail through here. So let's have a see who these couple of teams are. The River Road, I remember that distinctly. I was doing it at night time. Red to Run, love that. Well done, guys. You're absolutely on track. Your pace or mine. Yep, keep it chill and you're certainly going to get in there. Who else have we got floating around out here? Ooh, zoom, zoom. Who's up here? Ooh. Serotonin Squad Stars, yes, and Serotonin Sponge Cakes. Brilliant. So the Serotonin sisters are all sticking together on their way through Caloundra, which is absolutely brilliant. Well done, folks. It is getting into the last week is always that much more exciting. You've got through the most difficult part, believe it or not. If you've got here and you're still feeling quite strong, you've done a brilliant job of pacing yourself. It is really difficult, that middle third of the event, but now we're getting closer to that finish line. You can start really getting excited about the possibility that we're all going to make it across that line. So as I said tonight, we are about celebrating personal firsts. So please, please, please put into the comments if you know someone who has achieved a personal first through this RAV, put in the comments and do a shout out to them. Or also, let us know about your own personal firsts. Right now, I'm going to bring on to the screen with me Deb from Rage Against Violence. I've had the Rage Against Violence logo up on Instagram all day, and I've been a little bit concerned that I was going to end up with a phone call from the ABC to stop using their logo. But yeah, what was that? Sorry,
I did consider that when I made it, but I'm like, I should be right.
For forgiveness, right? When it's a good cause, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Fantastic. So, Deb, can you let everyone know a little bit about Rage Against Violence? You guys have been here for quite a few years. And where are you based and how's the team made up and how did it come together?
Yep. So Rage Against Violence, I had to suss it out with the rest of my teammates the other day because I wasn't quite sure. We started in 2020. A friend, Tammy Wiseman, who's been doing RAV for a long time, was before, and I always thought it was amazing. And we were in a virtual challenge together through Garmin with a few other ladies all across Australia, and so she had her own group, but then I thought, I really want to have a group as well. So I got a few of the other ladies from our Garmin challenge group who were originally Garmin groupies, and we got a few other people from that, and we've got a lot of other ladies from Running Mums Australia as well, and just different people over the years. So I believe we've got a core of about 5 or 6 who have been in the team since the beginning, and had a few others over the years come and go. And but yeah, I've got a really nice supportive team from all over Australia. I'm in Canberra myself, and my husband's joined the team the last few years, and his work colleague this year as well. But then we've got team members in Queensland, in Sydney, Mid-North Coast, in Wagga, Melbourne, and all over Australia. But we all just kind of catch up virtually and have our group chats and support each other that way. So it's been great.
Absolutely. And that's brilliant because I think also, as you say, coming from different parts of Australia, it's always lovely then down the track if you get the opportunity to go and actually visit each other and seeing where each other comes from and that sort of thing. It's a really great reminder that we all have such different lives around the country. So wonderful. Now, during your time in RAV, have you achieved any personal firsts? Is there anything that you've done that is you've stepped out a little bit more or done, something over and above?
The year I did the gold, that was a big challenge for me. I'd done silver, I think, previously, and that was okay. But I decided I really wanted to achieve the gold medal one year. So that was all about sort of thinking about every single walk that I could possibly get in. Like, okay, if I leave work at this time and then I can go in and get 2 kilometres then, and then it was, a big time management thing, being able to fit it all in. I think that was potentially after when we didn't have a lockdown. So during lockdown was hard, but then lockdown was a relief. So you could go out for as many hours as you wanted. So yeah, that was my big achievement, doing the gold.
And was there any time during that process where you thought you may not make it, or was it you sort of had your game plan in front of you and you just knew that you'll just keep ticking those boxes and it would all happen?
I'm usually pretty determined, so I call myself a completionist. I know that if I say I'm going to do something, I have to complete it no matter what. But it was a challenge, and I didn't do it, I think, until the very last day. So I was pushing it, but I was doing all I could up to that point to get it done. Yeah, it definitely was a challenge, but it's so motivating. Like, I think myself and a lot of the team just find it so motivating to get out, to do those extra walks, to, think about what you're getting out there for during RAV. So it's definitely very motivating.
And does your team tend to interact with each other a lot during RAV? Is there a lot of sort of support and encouragement that happens?
Yeah, definitely. Have our group chat through Facebook, so we're always messaging on there, and especially coming up to on the weekend when we got to Sydney, and so I was like, we're really close, guys, come on. And so everyone was able to get out and do their extra walks and things like that to get us over the line, and post photos of where we're running and what we're doing and so forth. And so it's really good to connect with everyone in that way.
It is, isn't it? And it's I always love how it brings that aspect out in people, that is, everyone jumps at the opportunity to support each other, to get to where they need to go, so where they want to go.
Yeah,
excellent.
For sure.
Yeah. Now, Amanda was going to join us this evening, but she hasn't actually checked in. So
she said that she couldn't get in. Obviously, she hasn't been able to join yet.
Yeah, no. So she's trying to get in. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I'll just go. Oh, she's saying she still can't get in.
Okay.
Said,
is she?
Yeah, I'm not sure. She said she's downloaded the app, but she can't get in.
Oh, okay. Is she? Okay. I'll just send you a message. Everyone just wait there for a moment. Gosh, Okay. Excellent. We just have a little tap. Oh, good. So we're really great to get Amanda in. For people that don't know, she's going after the silver, and and it's, I believe, the first time, like, these are major step ups for her in terms of distance.
Yeah. She did the 4-hour challenge last year, I think. But she did it again this year and beat her PB in that. So, it's an amazing thing that she did, the distance that she did in that kind of a challenge. It's
Absolutely. So let's go back to your 200 kilometres, because I think that that was pretty significant for you at the time too, a similar sort of step up. Are you a lifelong runner or walker, or is it something that you've come to later in life?
No, so I started running. I hated running in school. I hated all kinds of sport in school. I started running when my kids were little. I started running actually through Wii Fit on the TV, so just spot in front of the television,
Yeah.
and like it kind of ramped up and got easier and easier. And I thought, oh, if I'm running on the spot in front of the television, surely running outdoors has got to be better than that. And I
Yeah.
had who was a runner, and so she kind of gave me some tips to get out the door and to how to build up. And I remember the first time I ran 20 minutes straight and I was just stoked. And so yeah, I kind of just went from there, ran my first event was a 10K, which I ran with my friend Steph. And since then I've done a few half marathons. I did my first marathon last year, so that was something I never really thought that I would achieve, but I just decided I wanted to do it when I turned 42 so that I could do 42 when I turned 42.
Absolutely brilliant.
But that was during lockdown, so that wasn't going to happen. But then I was like, no, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna get this done. And so yeah, I did that last year, so it's done, and that's that. And
That's brilliant.
yeah,
Sorry, go.
yeah, I'm saying no, halves of my distance. That's my ideal distance. I'm aiming to do another half. I actually got diagnosed with breast cancer last year, right before RAV started. And so I ended up having surgery in October. And so I'm aiming to do a half marathon to celebrate my 1 year post surgery recovery.
That's
So, yeah.
amazing. So in that ramp up, when you were, as you say, even, I don't know if you can remember back when you were preparing for that first 10K, because I remember when I was getting off the lounge and preparing to run 10 kilometres, it actually seemed quite a big goal at the time. What got you moving during that period? Was it that brute determination of yours, or what were some of the kind of bits of self-doubt or questions that you had in your head that you needed to navigate your way around?
I'm not really too sure now. I think I kind of had just enjoyed sort of challenging myself and being able to know that I could do it. I think I'd run like a 12K run beforehand, before the 10, so I knew that I could do the distance. And on the day, I just loved running on the road. Like, I live in Canberra, and we ran up behind Parliament House and towards the lake, and I love Canberra so much, and it was just such an iconic run, running behind Parliament House, running around these iconic Canberra locations. So I loved running on the road, and I loved running near all these iconic things. And so I think I just enjoyed it all.
Oh, brilliant. And so in that way, the kilometres went easy for you. Sort of just things just flowed and you found the joy in it. And that's such a critical part of it. And we we're talking about that with the Swiss Mountain Goat last night, is finding the joy in the activity that you're doing, and the kilometres take care of themselves then, I think, when you get into that flow.
Yeah, for sure. And now I definitely appreciate having to have time away from running as well. So now I love the fact that I can appreciate that I can run, and I'm enjoying running. And even on my bad days, I appreciate the fact that I can run. And yes, that's it.
So once you got to, as you say, you've done your 10K and you've done your half marathon, was it almost inevitable for you that you would step up to the marathon distance? Did it just feel like a natural thing, or was it a bit of a contemplation that went on?
Yeah, no, not at all. I had a friend who was a runner who kind of provided me with a program and supported me through my first half. And she's like, oh, after I finished, she said, oh, the next step is a marathon. And I said, no. And that was probably, I think, 2017, maybe something like that, maybe a little bit earlier, that I did my first. And I just said, no, just flat out, just no, I'm not doing a marathon. So it wasn't until several years later that I thought, oh, I really should just tick that one off. And it was great. I remember the training more than the marathon itself. Like, I have great memories of my training runs, of my long runs. And so, yeah, I think I enjoyed training more than the run itself.
Wow. So again, was it the area that you were running in that made all that training so memorable and enjoyable for you, or was it other factors?
Yeah, possibly. I think it was also the achievement of it, like the sense of achievement when I got home. I thought, man, I just ran 30 odd kilometres. I never thought that I could do something like that before. And I do, Jeff, my long runs. So I sort of run, walk them. So that makes it a lot easier to get through. I'm like, okay, I just have to get through this next segment. But yeah, we visited Merimbula. So I ran at Merimbula and ran from Merimbula to Pambula and then back again. And I quite often remember that run quite fondly because I was just so proud of myself for doing it.
Yeah. And with that pride, with that kind of boosts your self-esteem, it certainly then opens up more opportunities, doesn't it? You sort of think, gosh, if I can do 30, maybe I can do 35, and maybe I can do these extra little bits. Is that how it
Yeah.
unfolded for you?
Yeah, pretty much. And
Mm.
one marathon, I kind of thought, well, anything shorter than a marathon is a short run. So
It's true, and you do get caught with that, don't you? Sometimes you have to do that little reality check of just reminding yourself of how special it is that you can do these things. And I'm sure, as you say, over the last year, you've had some pretty challenging moments to confront, and got some that inner strength to fall back on. So. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. So I know there's quite a few people out in the RAV community who are, I guess, thinking about contemplating, just in the back of their mind, not quite brave enough to articulate it, that maybe they do want to run larger distances. So maybe they've walked, 10Ks or 15Ks throughout RAV, and they go, oh, maybe I'm getting a little bit fitter now. I might walk or run 20 kilometres. What are some of the things that you would suggest that they think about in that process, or how they actually can help themselves or support themselves to step up in those distances?
I think just be kind to yourself and don't think, oh no, that's too much. I can't do that. You need to take little bits at a time, and you need to, a lot of people say to me, oh, I can't run. I try to run for a couple of minutes and I'm exhausted. And I say to them, you don't do that. Run for a minute, walk for a minute, run for a minute, walk for 2 minutes, build it up slowly, do what works for you. And you don't have to start out by running. You don't have to think, oh, I just ran and I feel exhausted. But you just take it easy on yourself, build up little bit at a time, and then eventually you'll be able to do things that you didn't think you could do.
Absolutely. And it is really challenging. I think people see, I guess, people that have been running their whole lives, for instance. There's a lot of people out there that have been running marathons for decades. And when they start out running, they look at that and they think that that's what running needs to look like. Where, in fact, as you say, it's this thing that gradually builds up over a long, long time, that you find the strength. But as you say, again, it's the enjoyment of it and looking after yourself that's actually improves your running quicker than anything else. So
Yeah. And I mean, say, I can't run, I wouldn't want to do that. Maybe they're not meant to run. Like if they want to run, they have to want to run, sort of thing. So yeah, if you're not enjoying it, then maybe it's not for you. But if you find some enjoyment, or if you're kind to yourself and you let yourself build up slowly and you find enjoyment in it, then you can achieve whatever you want, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's so true, that it needs to come from your heart first, doesn't it? It needs to be something that you long to do or crave to do, even if you don't understand how you're going to be able to do it. Where if you're doing it because someone's putting pressure on you to do it, or you're doing it to try and conform with other people or something like that, peer pressure or whatever it might be, then it's never really going to flow for you. It's much for people to have an enjoyable experience. I know when when people ask me about ramping up their Ks and becoming a runner, I always say walk. Just walk 5Ks. build up to walking 5 kilometres, and then only if you want to, in that 5 kilometres, start to do little patches of running. And then eventually you'll end up running 5Ks, but only ever run when you want to. And when your body just says, oh, no, I want to step up now. So
exactly.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, Danny, this has been an absolutely lovely chat, and I think it's been really useful for people to hear, what your experience has been, and going, as you say, from the couch to 200 kilometres is a pretty amazing experience, and that you've continued to find that joy in running is really important too. So thank you. Hopefully, we can maybe get Amanda back on at some stage to talk to her. I'm really upset that she has had issues with the tech, but that's the reality of life. Yeah, maybe we can organise a separate time and we'll do a quick recording and play it on one of the other evenings. So, but wonderful. I'm so glad I've had the opportunity to spend time with you. I've seen your name and seen all your activity over the years, but we haven't ever had any time to spend together. So it's been really delightful. Thank you.
Thanks, Shirley, and thanks so much for the event and what you've done. Like I think you're amazing, and so
thank you.
I think Rab is amazing, and this is my favourite time of year. So
thank you. That means you can't understand what that means to have you say that, because it's our favourite 19 days of the year. It feels like Christmas to us when we get here. It's a year-round effort to get these 19 days together each year, but gosh, it's worth it when you see people doing the things that you're doing, and you're really getting joy from it. So I'm grateful that you're here and grateful that you're part of it, and have a fantastic rest of the challenge, and we'll chat a little bit further down the track.
Thank you. Take care, Lee. Bye.